All right. Hope you guys had a great day. Let's talk about that Predator movie, or Prey, as they called. And I don't mean pray as in praying for Jesus to come help save this movie. No, I'm talking about. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. The Predator franchise is kind of like I compare it to my same viewpoint on Saturday Night Fever. All right? Predator's kind of the same, as if they got it right once and they haven't been able to replicate that formula since. Same thing with dance movies, like after Saturday Night Fever, they had like Step Up and a whole bunch of other movies that just didn't match to what Saturday Night Fever was. The same thing with Predator. Like Predator, they got it right once, and every version they did of it afterwards, it never rekindled that same magic again. However, that franchise has gone through such dramatic changes that even the audience, as I look through the comment section and a lot of commentary that was made about Prey, the Predator 5, if you will, like, even audience members don't really know the essence. They don't really know anymore what they want out of a Predator movie anymore. Because a lot of commentary, first of all, a lot of these people that are commenting on the Prey movie, or I say Predator franchise, the latest one, they all got that patriarchy, that woke bullshit so much into their mind that they don't even differentiate with the plot and the essence anymore. These people think every movie starting a female lead now is part of the message. Shouts out to Critical Drinker, because he used that. And of course, if they have any skin color other than white, they got something to say about that too. And shouts out to another commentator, the actual Justice Warrior, who, just because she's a woman, claims to be incompetent. So, not only are you a nobody, your sex is nobody, judging by what I've heard on the commentary on Prey. You don't know what you're talking about. And really, you don't even know what you want out of this franchise. Which gets back again to what I'm saying about this franchise. It's been pushed and pulled into so many directions that even the audience member can't look at this new trailer without getting attached to the patriarchy, Western version of man and woman, Western version of superiority versus inferiority. Predator. The Predator is not just a killer. That's what you should know about this story. Anyone who watched with open eyes the first Predator movie would know that the Predator is not just a hunter-killer. If he was, that first Predator would have been a very short fan film. 20 minutes tops, that movie would have been. But the movie tried to teach you something about adaptability, your survival capabilities, your ability to change tactics. Because the Predator learns as he kills. What do all predators real predators do before going after their, no pun intended, prey. They observe, they watch, they study. All right? Again, they learn as they kill. They're not mindless beasts as we in this society have become with our limited view thinking when it comes to the Predator and all movie related franchises that had an epic grand scale like this one in the 80s. The Predator is adaptable, a survivor, a sound observer, and a strategic, tactical machine. That was the essence of the Predator movie. The first Predator movie tried to teach us that you can have the biggest, the buffest guys in the world. You can have the best military trained, motherfuckers out there. But as soon as you get into the unknown, chances are you're going to have to forget everything you know and think, adapt, and react accordingly to the forces of nature that are being thrown at you. Because that's what the Predator represented. The Predator was a kind of like force of nature. Because what kind of alien, all right, would expose his belly like that, would expose his arms like that? No. The Predator represented sheer, utter survival. And by the end of the first movie, all right, Dutch had to forget everything he knew. All that fancy military training he knows, like he's losing guys left and right. He knew that, bro, I have to adapt or I might just not make it out of here. That's the essence of the Predator movie. Because in the first half hour, you see they swap into an entire settlement like it's nothing. Yet can't seem to handle the invisible force of nature, which is reacting. So, the reason why we haven't gotten a good Predator movie was just that. We look to these bodybuilders as the ultimate force of human accomplishment. The best that our science, our military, our training was capable of. Mother Nature, which is what the first movie represented, was, the uncontrollable force that will react accordingly to your behavior. That's a good reason why we haven't gotten a good Predator movie thus far. That particular essence, which I've just spent explaining, has been lost. Now, when it comes to prey, it's not a question of who's the better killer. Going off that trailer, that's not what I gotten at all. What I've gotten out of that trailer, who's the better survivor? Who's better at adapting? Which is kind of, in a way, almost like a Predator versus Predator in human form. Because the American Indian culture knows how to survive and adapt to ever-changing circumstances in nature. Just like the Predator. Just like the Predator. So, trying out that culture, I remember one person going to the comment section we need one with samurai. We kind of gotten that with the Predators movie. They had a Yakuza and he ended up trying to fight sword to claw with a Predator and lost. No, he didn't lose. No, they both ended up dying and shit. So, we already got that. So the American Indian perspective, that was great. And being third generation Lakota myself, I very much found this concept very interesting, noticing. And not only that, my only gripe with the movie is like, why does everything have to be English? Like, English is basically nowadays in this ever changing world a language of lazy people. Like, let's just have these actors, regardless whether they're Native American for real or not, let's have them learn that language. Bring authenticity back into these movies, because this whole like doing the same thing hoping it works twice, I think after a couple of Predator movies we've known like you got to change things drastically. Not only that, the fact that some commentators think just because she's a woman from a different culture that automatically means she's incompetent or that somehow they're inferior, and claiming that their technology is so superior whilst not realizing that a lot of the ancient buildings that we used to be able to make we cannot replicate now. So when it comes to technology and superiority and inferiority, I suggest a lot of these commentators, please shut the fuck up. Because you guys know nothing about culture. You know nothing about what's going on in the world right now, or has ever been going according to what you read in textbooks and Wikipedia. All right? You probably never went out there and actually talked to Native Americans. You probably never went out and actually tried to read up on their culture, their language, all this shit before all of this shit. And another thing with commentators of these, now that I'm coming back to the Prey franchise, this movie takes place, between 17 and 1800. So looking to that movie with the modern westernized patriarchy stuck in your fucking heads shows you perfectly well how incompetent you are. Because besides left or right thinking, you don't know any other way of thinking. If the truth is insulting, then let it be so. But thus far, all I've heard about this movie so far is a bunch of bullshit about people who probably don't do anything besides eat, sleep, and shit between these four walls. So yeah, that had to be said. Again, I apologize if I offend anyone. Really, I do. But this type of dumbass thinking needs to stop. Because coming from the director of 10 Cloverfield Lane, trust me, this could have gone a lot worse. A lot worse. I'm still looking forward to this franchise, nonetheless, getting kind of restored back to its natural order. And a lot of the good commentators have kind of said, like, hey, it's taking back to the jungle, getting to that survival ability, adaptability, which is fucking great. They should definitely continue on with that in the franchise moving forward. Just different timelines, just different settings each time, because, yeah, a lot of people are where the first Predator movie was at, stuck in the 80s, when it comes to their thought process on how to make a good Predator movie. And me personally, I've had some good ideas about how to make a good Predator movie. But having said that, however, the fact that they took this from a fan film is my more deeper concern. Because if you have to take fan film adaptation in order to make these movies happen, just hire them instead. Don't let like these directors who've already done shit, have them do the same shit in the same way. No, hire these fan-made films producers. Let them direct this movie. There have been a lot of movies that were fan-made. I mean, look at Machete. Machete was a fan-made trailer. It was really like a trailer for a trailer before the movie started, which was handmade, and people were like thinking, oh, this should be a movie. And guess what? It became a movie. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents on like the Predator franchise. Get the original language in there. Skip all the CGI animals. I can understand a bear. You can't just have a live bear running around on set, not knowing what the fuck to do. I could get that, but a CGI dog, come on now. Come on. Y'all can do better than that. We've trained dogs before. We've trained them way better than that. So, yeah. But people need to get the wokeness stuck out of their head because it's interfering with good fucking commentating on these movies, for real. But that's all I'm going to say about that. Overall, I think Prey is a fresh, much-needed reboot, revamp of the Predator franchise. And I guess they called it Prey because they want to come to the conclusion that when it comes to survival and adaptability amongst substantial circumstances, when it comes to the wilderness, like who's better and on top of the food chain. So, yeah, the question is, who's the prey? Is it the Predator? Is it the American Indian girl? Is it the commentators who are stuck behind 4 walls not knowing anymore what's going on in the world? Or is it the consumer, the ones who'll be paying the biggest price, a ticket price, to go see this movie? What do you think? Comment below, let me know. And as always, like, share, subscribe, So, take care. Just in time too, shit.